Live on a Friday evening once again, after our subdued post-game podcast last week. We are back. Ranger things have happened. Brought to you by Johnny C's Tees. T-shirts and more made with quality and speed. Johnny C's Tees for all your custom swag needs. Follow Johnny C's Tees on Instagram. He's on Twitter. He's got everything you need. T-shirts, hats, jackets, all of it. And he's a wonderful guy. Support local business. Welcome to the program tonight, gentlemen. I believe you could see Billy Trotter tonight.
Yeah.
Is that true, Bill?
So
Billy is actually become an on-camera personality for the evening. Our producer, Bill, because as you can see, we're a little bit light tonight. And I mean that metaphorically and literally, because AJ is not here, Cobb is not here, and Alex, with all the Mariners ice cream he's eaten over the past few months, is also not here tonight. But we got Ricky Diffendale here, Billy Trotter coming out from behind the curtain, and of course, Beano is with us tonight as well. How are you, gentlemen?
Oh, what happened?
What happened? I lost it.
Yeah.
Didn't work? Sorry.
It started, and I got into the sway, the Steve Winwood sway.
Back in the high life.
Obviously, Beano's back in the high life again.
Rangers are back in the
are. Rangers are back. Sometimes they're back when we do these podcasts, and sometimes they're very far gone when we do these podcasts. But the Rangers had a pretty good week considering what happened last weekend, which was abysmal. Points in 2 games, no matter how you get them, is the most important thing. And let's get into some not-so-breaking news. Big-time topic. Adam Fox is a Norris Trophy candidate. Yes or no?
100% yes.
Billy?
100% yes.
Yes. Just say yes.
Not a top 5, a top 3 Norris.
He is just on some type of roll right now. You'd be out of your mind to think anything to the contrary. Adam Fox is not going to be a legitimate Norris candidate. He is a legitimate Norris candidate, and he's proven that this entire season so far, especially the last few games, just looking at this world. Not so breaking news. It is time to put some respect on the name Ryan Strome, who has just been, after that slow start, just a revelation as a 2C. Your thoughts on Ryan Strome?
I don't want to make it a hot take, but it might have been episode 1 or 2 talking similar about players on this roster. And I said, Strome will be Strome. I don't know if you remember me saying that. And look where he is now. Top 6 forward in the league. Strome will be Strome, and he's showing it. Strome is playing fantastic.
Yeah, we're going to have to pull that. We're going to have to pull that out of the archives. Really? I'd love to.
I remember saying Strome will be Strome, and as usual, I'm right again.
I feel like if we're gonna do stuff like that, because I know AJ has done like callbacks to stuff he's said. If you want to do that, you should pick out the moment in the episode, and then Billy should find a way to cue it up and like replay it live, like as we just as proof. Because I could say that I'm right all the time too, but I'm not. But I believe you.
Oh,
and I'm glad that you were right on this one because we need Strome to be Strome, and right now I think he's being better than any version of Strome we've ever had. Mm-hmm. So you'll love to see it. And all respect to Ryan Strome, I probably given him a hard time on this very podcast, and I'm glad I was wrong.
Well, he was a name that was coming up as far as maybe moving this year. Yes, his name came up a lot of times.
I think he still is to a degree. I'm so torn. I would like for them to keep Ryan Strome. I think he works well with the people he's playing with, especially Panarin. It's been 2 seasons now, abbreviated seasons, but the chemistry's there, and Kakko's look good on that line as well. So I see no reason to move him if he could be a part of the solution. And they got him on a good contract with a good dollar amount. So why move him? I get the whole sell high people, but I wouldn't move him.
And we do have another year also, right?
Yes,
He's not an expiring contract, so.
And it's cap friendly.
We'll worry about that next year. He ain't going anywhere. He ain't going.
I hope not. The coaching staff is COVID-free, from what I could see. What did we think of the job that Chris Knobloch did in the interim?
Well, Knobloch did a good job. I think Chris Drury had a bigger role. That's how Chris Drury does. But no, it was. I mean, the whole Quinn is the brother's not. Quinn is the reason playing bad, and here comes Knobloch. They're playing great. Insert Quinn, 2 losses in a row.
Yeah.
Come on, let's. He wasn't really. he was just writing the ship. You know, he was just calling the numbers of the lines going, which may have an effect that maybe Quinn doesn't do something. He was still playing the same system as Quinn.
Yes. And people saying anything else are just trying to rattle the cages. It is what it is. The coaching staff is fine now. They're all back. 2 wins in a row, and we'll get to. So it's funny to just say it and try and make it a thing. And I think the internet does that. The internet is guilty of trying to make it a thing. The Knobloch Quinn argument, and especially the way that even the past 2 games that they've won, the way they've come out so flat. It's just like the Quinn effect. It's whatever. You keep winning games. That's the Quinn effect. And then my last bit of not so breaking news, it was Brendan Lemieux that not only got traded, but requested the trade. And that, at first when I heard it, surprised me, but then maybe he saw the writing on the wall with Kravtsov coming over and maybe playing at some point, maybe getting inserted to the lineup. Maybe he saw his playing time starting to dwindle and his role diminishing. So maybe I would request a trade too. So now he's out in LA. I don't know if he's playing out there either. I'm not really paying attention, but the Lemieux guy, I like, or as the kids say, a Lemieux stan. I stan Lemieux. And
Pepe?
Yeah, I liked him. He did what he did. He was not overly, talented, but a good player for what he did.
You remember last year on a rebuilding team, he was on the third line. He played a lot more minutes, and he was effective in many roles. And there's too many players on this team. There's too many guys in this roster, and I don't blame him.
That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing.
Us.
But for him,
thing for Lemieux.
You're not talking about Lemieux. We're talking about Kravtsov. We're talking about Laff. We're talking Kako, and then we're talking about even guys on defense come. Like there's no room for anybody really. If you're not going to produce, and he wants to play, so let him go play.
Yep.
He'll burn us. We'll play LA next year. He'll score a hat.
Oh my God, big time. Looking forward to it because you know what former Rangers do against the Rangers, and now he's a former Ranger. So hats off, Brendan Lemieux. Nice little tenure with the Rangers, and best of luck out in LA. And try not to score too many goals against the Rangers when we're allowed to play Western Conference teams again. Anyway, let's get into some quick game recaps before we have a special guest tonight, Rachel Nones, E2G Hockey and the Hockey Writers. So we'll bring her on in a little bit. But first, and I was this close to saying Nones because phonetically that's what it looks like. Anyway, it's Rachel Nones. She'll be on in just a little bit. Real quick, I don't even want to really get into the weekend because it was so bad with Philadelphia and that Washington game.
We got to watch that together. We watched that together. That misery.
We watched that Washington game together, and there were people with us. They were saying turn it off when it was 4-0, and I said no. What if they come back? And then it was 4-2.
Yeah.
And it was 5-2, and then it was 5-4, and
You know how bad that was going. They were calling for the NIT tournament to be turned on the big TV.
Yes.
That's how bad.
It was not going well. But they almost came back. They almost did.
Yeah,
there's no quit in New York, I guess.
It was 1 goal. Do you remember the goal? 1 goal that we
not the like the Oshie tip or something. It was like a weird goal, right? I was like
off the face. Remember the whole thing?
We almost scored off the face. We were that close to scoring off Oshie's face.
And that's going to be the goal, off the face. Because things don't go our way. They go against us in those plays. We never get those.
So, yeah, that was the 2-1 loss to the Flyers was frustrating on Saturday. What was it? A 6-5 loss to Washington was frustrating on Sunday. So if we would have podcasted Monday, the tone would have been very different Monday. But here we are on Friday talking about what happened on March 30th and April 1st. They played Washington again, and it's an absolutely brutal start to the game for the Rangers. They look lost. This is a tale as old as time for the Rangers, coming out slow, coming out lethargic. But it ended up being a huge comeback win for the Rangers, their first win of the season when entering the third period trailing. And I believe Washington's first loss when entering the third period leading, or maybe their second. So that was a nice little surprise.
And Sam Rosen said it. He said it. The Rangers have not won a game this year when trailing and entering the third period. And I said, usually that goes against us. Usually he gives us the kiss of death. I'm like, maybe this is the game. And we got it.
Yes, he put the nice little kibosh on the Caps, and we took advantage. A couple that stood out, and the Fox and Panarin are just again out of this world. The play first, the pass that Panarin made, and the reception of Fox off his skate to his stick, backhand for the lead. Just enough already with it. It's just straight up Rangers porn. It was nice to see Hedel and Kako both score in that game, and Kako's looking good with Stroman there, and it's hard not to look good with Stroman Panarin.
He's getting more ice time. Obviously, he's getting way more ice time than he would normally get, and it's showing that maybe he's a top 6, 7, 8 guy, and it's working out right now. He looks bigger to me. I don't know why he looks confident. He's skating with off the boards, playing off the boards.
He's a year older. He probably put on a little muscle. He's playing more confidently, and a lot of people on Twitter are saying that like eventually this is going to translate into more goals. He's been a great possession player. He just looks better than he did last year, coming over as a young kid after playing in all those games and in a short, weird season. And so I'm not worried. He better be a top 6 forward because he was a number 2 overall draft pick. So
he's starting to look like a guy that wants the puck, like not like gets the puck and scores. Like you get him the puck and he's making plays with the puck.
He's still passing up. He's still passing up first shot opportunities as we're being joined by, I believe that was I don't know who that was.
That was Madison.
Oh, it was Madison. Madison, named after a certain building in New York City, or not? I don't know.
I missed the intro. I was still dealing with what just happened.
But and then the last thing I wrote was that, and we kind of alluded to it in not so breaking news, that we owe Ryan Strome an apology. Anyone that talks shit about him, he's really settled down the cries for either the trade or he's just been fantastic.
Was there ever an outcry saying he's a bad player? I don't think he was a bad player. He was a good player.
It was all playing into the frustration early in the season where everybody was angry because things weren't going well.
Well, we have a guy, our friend in our group chat that we make fun of. That's his guy. Strome is his guy. We've said that for a year or two now. Strome has always been a good player. And now he's like, all right, maybe he's a good player. Maybe we'll get something better than him. And right now, there's not many people out there that would actually trade Ryan Strome for.
I don't want to trade him. I don't want to.
So that's it. Cut it now. Stop the conversation. Strome is playing probably for the next year, and then next year around. Well, actually not this time, but trade deadline time next year.
So the Rangers come back to beat the Caps on, I believe it was Tuesday. And then yesterday, April Fool's Day, the Rangers played the Buffalo Sabres. And again, we said last week that if the Rangers want to have any shot at the playoffs, they simply cannot lose any games to the Sabres or to the Devils. They have to beat up on the teams beneath them. And again, early in the game, it didn't look good again. I wasn't watching in the beginning of the game. I was out trying to buy kitchen cabinets, and I know it was 1-0 Sabres after the first. Like, what's happening? And then I was in the car on the way back. Blackwell scored. I got home for the third period, and who scored to take the lead in the third? It was Hedel again. So it was nice to see Hedel 2 games in a row now scoring a couple goals. And the Rangers are looking like, 2 points, going to take care of business against Buffalo. And then with 3.6 seconds later, I didn't know if it was I forgot the guy's name. I didn't know if it was Chris Drury in a Sabres uniform, backbreaking the Rangers again. Although I think he scored with 7 seconds left in a playoff game. So, yeah, the Sabres tied the game with 3 seconds left, and you're like, here we go again.
You felt that one brewing. I don't know why, but there was no surprise the way things were going at the end of that game. But I wasn't nervous. I saw the goal coming that they were going to go to overtime, but I was not feeling that they were going to shit the bed, as they say in this game. I was still, even though it happened, like, that's the Rangers. But I'm like, we're going to win this game. Like, whether we were going to win that game. And until the last 2, it was a long way coming in that overtime, but they still got the win.
And they had the puck for a long time in overtime. But then they didn't have the puck, and it was like Blackwell and Buchnevich were out there, and they couldn't get out of their own way.
Tic-tacking behind the net, like playing with it behind their own net, and exhausted. Like, I know I got a little nervous at that point. I'm not going to – you know what? You're right. I got a little nervous at that point.
But then, Brett and Zibanejad took care of business in overtime. And someone else pointed out in this game was that in the third period, Alexis Lafreniere played one shift in the third period. One shift. Let me say it again. One shift in the third period. And I thought that the Lafreniere, Heedle, and Gauthier line looked good.
They looked fantastic. They looked great in that game. They played well the entire. When they were down, was it 2-0? It was 2-0 at one point, right?
Yeah, it was 1-0, and then it was 1-1.
Okay,
and then it was 2-1.
But before the Heedle backhand, that was that line that produced, and there was nothing going on up until that point. That almost feel like, oh, they hit the post, and then they had. I thought it was 2, but all right, I'll take the 1. I'll go with you on that. Then they ended up tying
a hard-working goal. No, they scored to take the lead, 2-1. Heedle until 3 seconds left in the game. So that could have been the game-winning goal from that line, and Lafreniere played one shift in the period. One. No wonder Brendan Lemieux requested a trade. Even if Lafreniere is playing one shift a game, Lemieux might as well watch from the press box.
But it's because of his defense. He's been, I guess, tagged by Quinn as he can't. He's not a two-way player, let's say. How about that?
How's he going to develop into one if he doesn't have chances in a season where there's no expectations?
In the game that they have to win and they can't lose to this. They can't lose anything, by the way, going forward. So you might see more of the same with this, but they could not lose that game to the Sabres. They could, last night. They could not lose it.
Just from what I've read online, it's like you want to develop young talent, but now you're so worried about winning is that you're going to ride the top 6 and the young talent, Heedle, Lafreniere, they're not going to, they're not going to be out there. They should be out there in these crucial moments. Like Keandre Miller's out there in these crucial moments on defense, as is Fox and Lehman, both young guys. Like they're getting all this experience. I just feel like they need to find a way to play him more.
But Miller has shown he can rise to the occasion and play top 4 minutes.
Yeah, but he's out there showing it.
But I think the way the season has gone, Laff has shown that he's not playing defense. Not that I want to. He's a young player. I'm not going to get on him. It's not
devil's advocating me, or what are you doing?
I don't know.
I'm just trying to. I'm answering you. You're right. So how's he going to develop into a two-way player if he's not out there making mistakes?
Because I was getting to that, saying that unfortunately we're in a situation that we are right there. It's not like we're the Buffalo Sabres and we can play every young guy on the roster. It happens. We'll see in another week or two if we're gonna make a push or we're gonna all right, here comes Kravtsov and Lundqvist, and we're gonna go with that. And that's the way it's gonna be the rest of the season. So he's trying to win games while we're in it, and once we fall out, then we're gonna see all. And we'll see from the young guy.
Tantalized by the fact that we're 3 points out of a playoff spot.
I know.
Because I don't know if this team, as comprised right now, can win a Stanley Cup. So you might as well build for the next couple of years when they could. I get it. Listen, I sat here in the beginning, in the first 5 episodes of this podcast, talking about how, you know what, we're playing these games and I want to win. I want to win these games.
I want to win.
I still want to win. I don't want to say like pack it in and play the kids, but I feel like you could do both. You could try and win and also play the kids a little bit more, just a little bit more. Maybe 3 shifts in a period, not 1. Man. Anyway, they win the game on a Zibanejad overtime goal. 2 games this week, 4 points. You can't ask for anything more after the horrible weekend they had.
You're going to lose that bet, by the way. You're going to lose that bet.
I know. It was. I thought I was going to lose it in 2 games, the way Zibanejad was going. So for those of you who have not watched, I did bet AJ, our colleague, who's not with us tonight. He's actually 6 feet under the dirt in Greenwood Cemetery, and rest in peace. But he bet me that Zibanejad wouldn't have more. I think it was 15, right? The number.
Yeah.
I bet under 15 goals. He's got to be even close to it now, right? He's got like 12 or something.
And when you made that bet, I was on your side. I'm like, he's done. This guy is done. Like
he at that point, it was a good bet at the time. It has not looked good since.
2 hat tricks later, here we are.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it was only $20 though, so it's okay. And I said at the time I made the bet that I would very happily lose that bet, but I just took it because no one else would. So Zibanejad scores in overtime, and the Rangers win, and we all go home happy.
Yes, that was nice.
It's a wonderful thing, and I think it's time to bring on our special guest, contributor to the hockey writers to E2G Hockey. Her name is Rachel Nunes, not known as Bean. So
All right.
So I'm trying to plant that seed in my head.
Nones Jones. Nones
As
Jones.
we are joined momentarily by Rachel Nones. We are with Rachel now. Rachel, how are you doing on a lovely Friday night?
Good. How are you guys?
I can't complain. I won't complain. I could complain. Beano, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great.
You certainly look great. That's
Thank
what
you.
you always do.
You too, Rick. You too.
Anyway, thank you. Anyway, Rachel, welcome to the show. You don't have to really pay attention to Billy from now on because he's an Islander fan and he's not normally on camera. But we thank you for doing this tonight. Really cool. My first question for you is pretty simple. Just what's your take on the Rangers season so far? I know you cover which site do you cover the Rangers for specifically?
The Hockey Writers.
So what's your take on the season so far to this point, just in general?
It's obviously been a pretty interesting one, which is funny because it's a shortened season, but they still managed to pack a lot into this shortened season, whether it's the off the ice stuff that's happened or on the ice stuff. It's been a pretty up and down season, but it's been exciting. I think there's a lot of positives to take away. Obviously with the young kids, but it's been a roller coaster. I really don't have words for it, but it's a good segue into next season, I guess, no matter what happens, because there's a lot to take away from it.
Has anyone surprised you in either a positive or negative way?
There's a few names. First that comes to mind, Colin Blackwell. I don't think anyone saw anything what he was going to do coming from him ahead of time, which is crazy to think that we would have to possibly protect him in the expansion draft. But he's been fun to watch. Keandre Miller's obviously been fun to watch. I don't want to say that I was surprised by him because we obviously knew how esteemed he was before he officially made his debut, but he's been really fun to watch. I think just like the young kids, Lafreniere is obviously fun to watch. Capo, I think he would probably be the most surprising to me, just seeing his transition from last season to this season. I think there's a noticeable difference, and I think that's like a huge positive for the team.
Saying like Laugh is fun to watch when he's on the ice.
Yeah, the
Don't
limited
play the
time that we
kid.
get to see.
We were just talking about like we played one shift in the third period last night. It's like, come on.
Yeah,
He is fun to watch.
Yeah, I think in hindsight, it was not a good idea to hire an NHL coach who didn't have any NHL experience. Obviously, the prospect of him developing players in college sounded great, but I think at this point, I'm not sure what else he can do with the team.
So you're not you're not for Quinn?
I'm neither for nor against, I would say. I think he's definitely developed players, but I think when we definitely transition into the next phase of making that playoff push, I'm not sure what he will have left to contribute. I don't know if somebody else could have come in and gotten more out of these players, but it's a lot of what ifs. But I'm not one of those people who's rooting for him to be fired immediately, but I don't know long term what the upside would be either.
This is where we could have used Alex being here because my brother, who's usually here on the podcast, has wanted Quinn fired, I think, since the day they hired him. So
Well, I don't think your brother can argue with that. He's not the long-term answer, but he is what he is now. We have the youngest team in the league, like you said. He's a college coach coaching young guys. He's not going to be the guy that's going to get us to the Stanley Cup. He's the guy right now. 5 years, he's not going to be here. We all know that. Let's just hope it's not AV.
God, come on. He might not have a job much longer either.
They booted Tortorella for AV. You know, Tortorella maybe.
Hold on. AV on the Ranger. I mean, we went to the final. We went to the conference final. Don't hate on AV for that.
No, I'm not hating on him. I'm saying we got rid of Tortorella because that's what they said about Tortorella. He couldn't get us to the promised land. So they brought in, AV. He got us there. We didn't win.
We were close.
I'm not disagreeing with the decision at the time.
All right, don't yell at me.
David Quinn is not the answer long term.
Don't yell
Rachel, in your heart of hearts, how far do you think they go this season?
Realistically,
Yes, absolutely realistically.
I think it's going to be a pretty close miss. I think they're going to miss just nearly, but in a way, I think that's better. I don't think that, I mean, obviously, it's not about winning a cup right now. We're really going far in the playoffs. I mean, you never know if they do make it far, who could get injured long term, and you just open a lot of doors that way. But I think, it could just be a good time to reflect for everybody. But I think they're going to miss. I would love for them to at least make it like one round or two rounds, but realistically, I don't think so.
That's fair. I mean, I almost like if they have to make the playoffs and then play the Islanders in the first round and get pounded on by the Islanders in the playoffs. I don't know if I could emotionally have the Billy. I don't want to see that shit, Bill.
What's worse, missing it or getting slaughtered by the Islanders?
I think getting slaughtered by the Islanders in the first round is far worse than missing the playoffs, especially when expectations coming into the season weren't playoffs. Considering the format, considering the division.
I think it's going to be tight the rest of the way. And like I said, we're not going to see Lath getting big minutes and these young guys getting huge minutes because they're going to be putting Mika and Panarin, and Strome, and those guys are getting big minutes. We're not going to showcase our young talent. In so facto, might make the playoffs. That's how it works.
You just wanted to say ipso facto.
I did. I've been waiting to say that one. It's written down.
Oh my God.
I have a note.
I'm trying to work that one in.
A note.
So, Rachel, talk to us about the hockey writers and E to G hockey. Like, how do you get involved in that? Like, is that your day job? Are you a writer, or do you have a different day job and you just do this on the side?
Yes, so I do have a different day job, but with these writing jobs, happily like a second full-time job. I love doing it, but I got started. I think I realized that I wanted to go into the sports industry way too late while I was in college. So I kind of jumped where I could after I graduated. And it just so happened I got started at a blog, and then I found my way to the hockey writers, which I can't say enough good things about. The community that they have just amongst the writers is so nice. Just super supportive. It's a really tight knit group, which there's a lot of us, but the fact that we're also supportive of each other is something that I really appreciate it, especially getting started. And then E2G, that's a new thing that I was able to be invited to help with, which is nice because I'll get to cover the NHL East or the Metro, whatever happens with the realignment. But so that's fun because I pretty much am watching hockey every night, even when the Rangers aren't on, or even when they are on, have like 3 different games on. So I just like to keep tabs on what else is going on. I mean, not even in the same division, but so that's cool that I'll get to kind of focus on other topics and other teams there. So that's pretty exciting.
Is your day job in any way related to writing?
Not particularly. I'm in leasing, but I am at a computer all day. So, the Word document's up there. And if I have an idea, I can easily just switch over.
Nice. Well, that's convenient.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I was poking around on the hockey writers thing, and what do they have? Like more than one person for each team? Like, it seems like there's hundreds of people that write for that.
Stable of sports writers over there.
Yeah, so I think there's like 3 or 4 for each team. I think we have like a breaking news squad too. Some of the teams have their own podcast, which is really cool. Something around then. And then we have, the group of editors, and they're all really great too. And they cover some teams as well.
And you said E2G is brand new, right?
Yeah, they just launched this month, which is really exciting to kind of start with a blog. So that's really cool. I think we have kind of the same kind of setup. We have a bunch of writers, and I know there's somebody else who covers like the other division. But really we had the freedom to kind of pitch what we wanted to cover, which was nice too. So we had the freedom there. So it worked out pretty well.
I knew that they were brand new because when I went to their Twitter page, they had less followers than us. And we have
That's impossible.
So if you're out there you get over there and you follow E2G. It's E2G Sports, right? Not hockey.
I think the main is sports, but I think for the specific hockey one, they have hockey in the
You
handle.
get over there and you follow E2G Sports and you follow E2G Hockey and support this up and coming blog, and of course follow the hockey writers because they seem like a bunch of like hardworking writers that like really into, which is awesome because that's where most people are getting their information and news. I mean it's all on Twitter, so follow them, follow both. So Rachel, you're living in, you're a Pennsylvania person.
Yeah. So I pretty much grew up in Pennsylvania. I was born in northern Jersey, so that's where all the New York stuff comes from. But now I live in Pittsburgh since I went to school at Pitt. I just stayed in Pittsburgh because it's such a wonderful city. But yeah, that's kind of where like my desire to cover other teams came from, because just the Pens naturally being here. And when I came to Pittsburgh, that's when they were winning their cup. So it was kind of hard not to follow them.
That's what I was going to ask you. You went to school in Western Pennsylvania, living out in Penguin Land, and they were actually really, and still are really good. How does it feel to be a Ranger fan in enemy territory?
Actually, so I grew up outside of Philly, so Philly fans, that's what I'm used to, and I wasn't really nervous moving to Pittsburgh because I was like, there's no way they can be worse than Philly fans. So I don't want to say I've been pretty lucky, but I've had maybe like one bad experience and it wasn't even that bad. But can
you go into that?
So I was at at a game at a Ranger game in Pittsburgh, and I can't remember which game it was. We ended up losing by 2 goals, I think, but I had a friend with me who's a Pens fan, but she's like, if you have a spare Ranger jersey, like I'll wear it so you don't feel alone. And I was like, okay, sure.
That's a good friend. I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah. So sure enough, I think the Pens maybe had 2 goals or something, but she was wearing the jersey, and every time that the Pens would score, she would jump up and cheer in this Ranger jersey. So everyone was confused, of course. So the people sitting behind us, they were like, what's going on? Why are you wearing a Ranger jersey, but you're cheering for the Pens? Like, what's going on there? And she was like, oh, like, I'm just doing it for my friend. But I'm a Pens fan. So they were talking smack, of course, because I think at one point it was like 3-1 or something. So it was kind of a miserable time. But there was one point, I think, like Kevin Hayes tied it. So it was like 3-3 or something. And so I stood up and I was clapping and everything. And they said something before that goal where it was still down. They were like, hey, tell your friend if she needs, there's like tissues in the bathroom or something like that.
See where they're going, jerks.
So then the game was tied, and then I turned around and I said, do you want some tissues? I'll go get them for you. But it was just so like out of pocket for me to say, because I'm not usually like that. I don't like to smack talk because the Rangers ended up losing, so it wasn't even worth it. But just tensions get really high there for some reason. But I have a better memory of when the Rangers did win. It was when Strome won it in overtime. And that was insane. That was an insane game. That was a really fun game. And that was the Pens' last game of the season. So that was the game that ruined their chances of having home ice advantage, which was even better. And I vividly remember in the first period that some fans were yelling like mid-game about the Rangers being an AHL team. Meanwhile, I'm thinking you guys are like one of the oldest teams in the league, but okay. So I remember that. And then the game was tied really late in the third, and then it went into OT. And all the Pens fans left like really upset. And it was the last game, obviously. So that's when they do like the little after game thing. And they were throwing jerseys and everything, or t-shirts at the fans and everything. And I was with my mom at that game, and one of the Penguins threw us a t-shirt, and I'm like thinking like we're standing here in our New York Rangers jerseys and you guys just lost to them, and they gave us a free t-shirt. So that's a pretty fun memory.
That was in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
Have you like been to games at the Garden?
Yeah, I've actually only been to one game last season, right before COVID. It was when they played the Bruins. They lost. It was when Booch went after Marchand. So that was probably one of the best
Oh,
first games
nice.
at MSG that I could have asked for, despite them losing. But then again, it was the Bruins, but definitely memorable.
Nice. Yeah, you got to get there for more games. You got to experience a win in that atmosphere.
Yeah,
They ever
I can't
let the
imagine.
building fill up again, with people like we used to. Um, so yeah, I was going to ask you your favorite garden memory, but I guess that's it because it's your only garden memory.
I would say Booch going after Marchand.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions for Rachel before I ask her the question?
No, that was my question. Born in Jersey, grew up in Philly, living in Western Pennsylvania, had a Ranger fan. So I'm good.
What about you, Bill?
I got nothing. I'm a Wayne Islanders fan.
How's your internet
Yeah,
connection?
that's true. His internet connection looks fine. All right, Rachel. So before we let you go, we asked this question to all our guests. Gun to your head, one fast food chain the rest of your life. Which one do you choose?
Oh boy.
This could be an off the grid one. She's like out in Western Pennsylvania. This could be
Yeah, we
like,
do have some pretty out here food chains.
but this, I don't care where you are in the world. One for the rest of your life. What is it?
This is such a hard question.
There is a gun to your head, right?
First thing that came to mind was Pizza Hut.
What?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That doesn't qualify.
That's fast food pizza.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming like a convenience store doesn't count because I'd say like Wawa or something.
I knew she was gonna say Wawa.
I'd accept Wawa. I love Wawa. Wawa's an acceptable answer.
Yes. Change it from Pizza Hut to Wawa.
Wawa is
Wawa's
100%.
great.
I
We don't
think
have them in New York
Wawa is
City.
more diverse. Like I would get sick of Pizza Hut even though I love it, but Wawa you could always change it up there.
You should make it Wendy's. Wendy's is a good choice if you want diversity.
You can't try and sway minds. This is their choice for fast food. Don't try and bring them down to your level. Judge says acceptable. That's our first Wawa. That's our first Wawa.
All right.
We get a lot of Chick-fil-A's. What was the weird one? Didn't Nick give us a weird one?
No.
Like-
Steve gave us
was like-
Sonic.
What was it?
Sonic.
Sonic? That I don't know. I kind of agree with that one.
It wasn't like Zaxby's or something like the chicken place, the other chicken place down south.
Yeah, it was like some
Yeah,
weird
yeah,
southern
yeah.
chain that we've never heard of. Zaxby's or something. I don't know. Wawa is acceptable.
I guess I will
I'll
100%.
take it.
I love a Wawa.
Definitely over Pizza Hut. What Pizza Hut? So the Pizza Hut out in Pittsburgh, if people are like, I'll have Pizza Hut the rest of my life.
And they're all going out of business too. Like I had 3 around me. They don't deliver to me anymore, so that kind of fell out of favor. But yeah, Pizza Hut slept on. I think it's better than Domino's.
Pizza Hut is like when the cicadas come back. 17 years. That's when I eat it. I eat Pizza Hut, and I say I'm never eating Pizza Hut again. And then 17 years later, I have Pizza Hut, and I say, why did I eat that? I'm never eating Pizza Hut again.
They're coming back this year. The cicadas are coming back this year.
Yes,
Well,
that's
it has
We
to
gotta
be
get
the
Pizza
stuffed crust. Like if it's the regular pizza, it's trash. But if it's the stuffed crust, that's what you go to Pizza Hut for.
We have to eat Pizza Hut on a podcast with the cicadas.
Oh.
You know what? I'm throwing shit on Pizza Hut. I had Pizza Hut like last month when we were driving down to Florida, and I got like stuffed crust pizza and the bread and the cinnamon sticks. I got that little box for them and the kids. So
The whole nine. It's good. It's good in a pinch.
Yes.
It's not one that you choose for the rest of your life. So that's why we're gonna switch it to Wawa for Rachel. That's good. That's acceptable to me.
I love
Wawa's good.
And you can also grab like a bag of Doritos if you wanted at Wawa too. It's not just about
or a sandwich. I got everything. I got breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
But I'm saying I understand that. But there's other stuff. There's candy and it's a
Ice
store.
cream.
That's a solid choice because there's variety.
If you're a coffee drinker, Wawa has the best coffee.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody's got the world's best coffee.
No,
I have it at work.
Wawa has the best. Shout out to Richie's Raiders. I know they're watching.
All right. Well, Rachel, we thank you for coming on tonight and spending a few minutes with us. Good luck with everything with E to G and with the hockey writers and the rest of the season. And good luck with finding good pizza out in Western Pennsylvania. And yeah, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. This is fun.
Thank
you.
you.
And
Thank you
for
for
telling
having
we
me.
hope you enjoyed it as well. There's usually
I
more
did.
people
Thank
here.
you.
We usually have a whole crew. They're not here tonight, so you got a little shortchanged, but
Well, I have less people to flame me over Pizza Hut, so that's fine by me.
fair enough. Fair enough. But yes, we thank you and have a great weekend and a happy Easter if you celebrate that sort of thing.
Thank you. You as well.
Take care, Rachel. Thank you.
See ya.
I got to check my internet.
Apparently, you can out Pizza the Hut if they're all shutting down.
Man.
Talk to Billy.
So, Billy, my question to you is: have you watched more Islander games this year
Actually, I have.
since getting involved with a hockey podcast?
I have. I think I'm up to like 5 or 6 games now.
Do you find yourself like more into it?
Yeah. I mean, I've always liked watching playoff hockey. Hockey's just a fun sport to watch as the casual fan here. No, but like.
Yeah, you said playoff hockey in the Islanders. It's just
no,
ironic because they haven't been in the playoffs most of your life.
But yeah, well, hey, I graduated with Pat LaFontaine's daughter. So what's up, Sarah?
Was she hot?
Yes, of course.
Nice.
No,
That's good.
But I'm a big baseball fan, and I love baseball. I love playing softball. It's like watching paint dry sometimes, and hockey just doesn't have that. Like, no matter what's going on, there's always action, and no matter who you watch, like even a shitty team is like a good, it's a good game to watch.
Shitty team. You watch the Islanders, so you get it.
Hey.
No, but I agree. As much as I like watching baseball, sometimes Although I will say this about baseball real quick, and we haven't said the magic word, and I won't say it because it's been 43 minutes and we haven't said it. But people bitch about like the time of the game, like or the pace of the game.
Yeah.
All right, then don't fucking watch if you don't like it. Don't watch. It's a baseball game. Don't watch it if you don't like that it's 3 hours long.
Yeah,
I could sit and watch a baseball game and not bitch about the time of the game.
Yeah, it's one of those.
You're on mute.
It's one of those weird things that, as a baseball fan, I'm with you. I can watch if a game takes 4 hours, it takes 4 hours. If a game takes 90 minutes, a game takes 90 minutes. But the thing is that no matter what.
How did we get here? How did we get here?
We didn't say the magic word yet, though.
We didn't. But I did.
I said it on mute. You said I was on mute. I said it while I was on mute.
Well, we didn't hear it. We got here because we were talking about like Billy's more into hockey now, that he's part of a hockey podcast, like watching more Islander games than he has in the past. But just because with hockey there's more action than if you're watching a baseball game, and sometimes it drags. But I don't like people complaining about the pace of a baseball game. You know what? Then don't watch baseball.
I love it.
Well, so here's
I
the
like-
thing. Every major league is trying to get more people to watch. So baseball does have this problem where if you want new, younger viewers that, let's be honest, growing up with technology, you're used to things happening instantaneously. Baseball is not an instantaneous sport, so.
But I don't
care. Then don't watch. You're a numbskull.
Yeah, I agree. Then I agree. I get it. I get that kids are impatient, but like enough. This is the sport.
But
this is how it's played.
But then that means that baseball one day is gonna die, and I'm okay.
No, it
with
won't.
that.
It'll never die.
I'm
No
okay
way.
with that. But that's what that means, and that's what MLB is trying to fight. Is
Well, they're dumb. It's
Unless
dumb.
you're the New York Mets, baseball is now on every day.
24 minutes, right?
You're the Mets.
45 minutes into the podcast. That's a record.
No,
It's relevant. You've been talking about it for 3 minutes.
I know, but 45 minutes before the first mention of the Mets.
Well, baseball is on every day in the summer, almost every 6 days out of the week. It's almost like putting on the radio station, just listening to baseball. If it's a 1 o'clock game, I sit down, I turn it on, I start the game, I watch a couple innings, and then I just go about my day. It's on the radio if I go on the back deck. It's baseball. It's on. All summer long, there's a baseball game on at some point. And I will tune in for an inning or two, or I'll sit down and watch entire 9 or 10 or 12 innings, depending on what's going on. But that's why I love baseball. It's America.
I hate to bring up
Yes.
radio. Listening to baseball on radio is much easier than any other sport. Because again,
Well, if you're a Met fan, you have Howie Rose, and yes, I agree.
well, as a Yankees fan, and John Sterling
And-
and Olsen are
Yeah. Oh God.
I'm just done with them personally.
I love John Sterling. I don't care.
I don't like him.
He just
I don't
rambles
like
on
him.
about nonsense, and I lose the plot. I was listening because I'm moving to Bay Ridge, as some may know, and I'm driving back and forth, and I was listening to the Yankees game yesterday, and he literally talked about how, the Yankees are up 2-1, Toronto only scored 1 run. He's like, all right, end of the third, going into the fourth, it's Yankees 1-0, and I'm like, what's the fucking score? And that's what annoys me.
Because I just told you why. It's radio. You're on the radio. Why do we love Gary, Keith? Not for them calling the actual. Well, we love Gary.
They're like chit chatting, like
Yes.
guys watching the game.
It's personality. They're all personality. They were talking to us for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And there's a baseball. That's why we love it.
Although I will say that the good thing about hockey is that it's finite and it will end when it ends. And
Yes.
I guess so that when you're talking about timing,
yeah,
it's fine. But room for all for me. I don't buy into the fact that thing has to be like, we have to speed up the game so the kids watch. Fuck these kids. Anyway, Billy, it's time for that magical part of the show. You know what it is.
Eat
It
some
looks like I
patience.
caught you off. I caught him off guard on that one. Trivia on the Ranger Things Have Happened podcast, brought to you by Johnny T's Teams. Beano, since no one else is here today, I'll go first.
And I guess
then you go, and then Billy will read who sent you questions. Bill,
I was gonna say, do we even need these? Me and you just talk back and forth. Unless Billy
who sent Bill?
I have from AJ and Cobb, so I think we should put someone in between me.
Okay,
so you go first, then I'll go. Then Beano goes, then you go again, then Beano will do who am I?
Yes. Okay.
So give us AJ or Cobb's, your choice, viewer's choice.
This is AJ's question. There are 3 current Rangers who are the only players in their team's history to wear their current number. Name them.
I get it. So there's 3 Rangers wearing numbers that no other Ranger ever wore.
Oh, is that what that meant?
it's 3 Rangers.
Read it again.
There are 3 current Rangers who are the only players in their team's history to wear their current number. Name them.
Okay.
I'm guessing it could be like high school and college too, or teams they played with before.
It's guys right now playing for the Rangers are wearing a number that no one else has worn. Is that?
Yes. That's how I'm taking it. That's how I'm taking the phrasing.
I did a timer, but it's not ready.
Hold on, don't start the timer.
Yeah, this is a hard one.
The timer started.
I have one. I got one, and I'm not. The one was an easy one, so now I'm like, shit.
Oh God.
Okay, I got another one.
He didn't give me a hint, so I can't really.
It's okay. I have 3 names.
No,
I have 2. Hold on.
No, wait,
Hold on.
Wait, he's saying in the chat I'm an idiot. Hold on.
So he's listening. He has time to listen, but he can't come on.
I am an idiot. Okay, I'll give one more rereading. There are 3 current Rangers who are the only players in the team's history to wear their current number. Name them.
Yeah, that's how I interpreted the question.
That's how I interpret. Numbers they're wearing now, no one ever wore.
Also, AJ, fuck you. You can listen to the podcast, but you can't just pop on your phone or anything. You're a jerk. Anyway, I'm ready when you are, Bean.
Well,
I'm not. Okay, yeah, I got it. I spelled one wrong, but all right.
Well, we'll give you.
All right.
I hope he doesn't want the numbers because I don't know.
No,
Them, but...
I don't.
I'm ready?
He did
Flip
the
them.
numbers as the answer. Ricky is correct.
I'm correct.
All 3.
Correct. Ricky got all 3. You got 1, Beano.
I got Miller.
Blackwell,
Yes.
Heedle, Miller.
Oh no.
Yeah, baby, the kid is hot. And AJ's not here to stop me from steamrolling him. So
He said he's on the shitter, so he's steamrolling himself.
Cleveland steamrolling. Okay, I'll do my question.
Hold on, I'm not ready.
Wait, what do you mean he got 2? Wait, Ricky, did you erase it yet?
I wrote Blackwell, Heedle, Keandre Miller.
Oh no, you did only get 2. I'm an idiot.
See, Blackwell's number was there.
I'm an idiot.
So What was the answer?
Cheeto, Miller, and Buchnevich. Cheeto
89?
had 72.
No one ever wore
Miller had
89 for the
79,
Rangers?
Buchnevich had 89.
Challenge. Coach's challenge.
Not Blackwell, Buchnevich.
Well,
yeah, I got it.
we'll take him to test. Well, first of all, AJ, fuck you. Do I get 2 points or I get no points?
I don't know. AJ, does he get 2 points or does he get no points?
He's gonna say I get no
one.
points.
You get one, and number 2 is up for debate.
Okay, whatever. I don't care anymore.
We'll move
Okay.
on, and then I'll dole out points.
AJ's a jerk.
Moving forward.
Here's my question. On February 5th, 2007, the Rangers acquired this player in a trade with the Los Angeles Kings for Jason Ward and a 2008 conditional third-round pick. Who is that player? On February 5th, 2007, the Rangers acquired this player in a trade with the Los Angeles Kings for Jason Ward and a 2008 conditional third-round pick. Who is that player?
It's very vague. Jason Ward.
I have a small update. AJ says you got 0 points each.
Yeah, I figured that because he doesn't want me to catch him.
I got 0. Keandre Miller.
If that was my question, I would have given a point per player, but AJ's a dick, so.
It happens.
Whenever you're ready, Dean.
Who came from LA? 2007.
I thought that was the giveaway when I said Los Angeles.
I know, LA.
You might say the trade really ruled. Does that help you at all?
It doesn't help me, but ruled.
Trade really ruled.
My answer is Mitch, by the way.
It's not Mitch.
I don't want to get this wrong. I don't want to get
something
hurt.
It's been
trade really ruled.
It's been like 3 minutes, Beano.
Ruled.
No one has ever had a longer time to answer a question.
I think the answer is he's wrong.
Did AJ type an answer in the chat?
No, he's still pooping, I think.
And he is the worst. He could all these mandates for his question, but not answer our questions. I get it. You know, your time is up. You gotta write something.
I got it.
Flip it. I can't see that.
Sean Avery?
Yeah, that's correct. That is correct. The Avery rule.
I know, but you said you really screwed me up with rule. I'm like, rule? What the hell is rule? Rule.
Sean Avery is correct.
I think from LA. I'm like, there's not many trades the Rangers make with LA.
Sean Avery. The Avery rule would later come into effect.
Put me on the big board, Billy.
Yeah, give Beano a point. He needs any point he can get.
And as I wrote, I'm like, shit, did he Detroit? So I was right.
From Detroit to LA, then New York to Dallas, then back to New York. And now he's yelling at bicyclists or people blocking the bike lanes. But I love him to death, and he's one of my favorite Rangers of all time. Beano, go ahead. We'll get your question, then we'll do Cubs.
All right, trivia time. Former New York Ranger defenseman Dan Girardi was recently promoted to interim assistant coach of the Sabres after firing of Ralph Krug. This former first-round draft pick Ranger defenseman was promoted to interim head coach of the Buffalo Sabres in 2012 due to an injury to our friend Lindy.
Say that again. To injury to Lindy Ruff?
Yes. This first-round draft pick Ranger was promoted to head coach of the Buffalo Sabres in 2012 due to an injury to coach Lindy. So, former first-round defenseman Rangers as a head coach for the Sabres.
(2012). I remember when Lindy Ruff.
Now, I think he must have played a while back. He was a first-round draft pick some point in his career.
I'm taking a shot in the dark on this one.
You need another 2 minutes, like me?
No, I'm just taking a shot in the dark. It's the first name that popped in my head. I think he springboarded that position into another position, but I could be totally wrong.
No, it wasn't Dan Balsamo.
Fuck.
It was my namesake, James Patrick. James Patrick.
Ah, damn it.
Great
Sorry, that's
defense.
embarrassing.
Great defenseman
Dan
for the
Bosma.
Dan Balsamo. Where'd you pull that out?
I don't know.
Was Dan Balsamo a first round draft pick by the Rangers?
Oh, but I thought for some reason I thought that he got like his Pittsburgh job after an interim job somewhere else. I don't know. My mind goes to weird places. Go ahead, give us Cobb's question, Billy.
Prior to this season, who were the last two Rangers with multiple hat tricks in the same season?
They said this too.
I know that's why I'm pissed off that I wasn't listening. Multiple hat tricks in the same season.
Read it again.
Prior to this season, who were the last two Rangers with multiple hat tricks in the same season?
Dead air.
5 seconds.
I know.
Dead air. I'm ready to flip. Damn it.
I say flip him. Unless Beano can't spell.
Well, I'm waiting for Beano.
I'm ready.
No. Thomas Sandstrom and Tony McKegney in the 1986
Yeah.
87
Oh my
season.
God.
Now I remember because Sam Rose said Tony McKegney, like as he said. What a great Ranger.
Kyle
Oh,
also
God.
gave me, I think Sandstrom had 4 hat tricks and McKegney had 2 hat tricks.
Let's just start writing the answers down to the Rangers trivia.
Yeah. So when someone eventually repeats the questions like we've done a couple times, we could get them right the next time. Oh man, a rough night for me in trivia. I was so close to that first question.
We only have one confirmed.
And Alex didn't send us a question, right?
No.
All right. So I think it's time for the next soundbite.
Oh, I screwed up.
Yeah, you did.
Hold on,
It's
I
hard
got
being on camera.
Billy. I'll take care of it, Billy. I got it.
Who am I?
Are you trying to play the unified Windows?
No.
Whatever you're trying to play has not been working, man.
All right.
I've been on a Who Am I hot streak.
I was looking. I'm going to ruin your hot streak.
So this has got to be a Rangers Sabres connection.
Oh, you would think.
I would think.
Ready? Drafted by the Islanders,
Yeah.
third overall in 1983, playing 8 seasons on Long Island, putting up over 500. Frustrated with Islanders management as the player that plays for the Islanders. I was traded to the Buffalo Sabres in 19.
Wait, say it again. You're breaking up. In what year?
After playing for the Islanders for 8 years, I was traded to the Sabres in 1991.
1991.
Where I tallied another 380. And I lost my place.
308 points.
After the New York Rangers lost Mark Messier, Vancouver, and a failed attempt to land free agent superstar Joe Sakic, the Rangers signed me to a 2-year deal prior to the 97-98 season. And through 66 games, I scored 20 goals, had 39 assists, and 62 points. Unfortunately, on my 67th game, I collided with teammate Uncle Mike Keene and was injured. The Rangers went on to win that game, but in my absence, only won 4 of the remaining 16 games, missing the playoffs, and I never played another game in the NHL. Who am I?
That was a long one.
It was a long one. It was a good one, though.
I'm going to flip it.
Just flip it.
I knew he was going to say it.
Is it him? We were just talking about his hot daughter.
It was Pat
Billy.
LaFontaine.
You know, I went to graduated high school with his daughter.
Yeah, it was a Ranger, Saber, and Islander connection. Billy tonight.
Streak lives on. I got to go back to these spots and see how many who am I's I have in a row. It's at least 3 or 4. Fantastic.
I was gonna save this one for next week, the Islanders, but fitting. Sabres.
No, that was a good one. All right. So moving right along, let's get into our new thing here, our top 5. We're going to do top 5 lists. Why am I hearing myself?
I heard that too. Don't worry. It's
Definitely
got to be
Billy's faulty equipment tonight.
production. The production value is shit.
For the record, I heard nothing.
Billy is not only lagging, like his mouth is moving for his words, but he's also on camera. All right, let's go. Top 5. Today, we bring you our top 5 hockey movies of all time. You want to go with everybody else's list that's not here yet, Bean?
Yeah.
Because we got them from everyone.
Do we have them?
All right, so we'll start with Cobb. I'll go with Cobb's. Cobb's top 5 hockey movies. And I'll go from 5 to 1. Right, you understand? That's counting down from 5 to 1.
I understand. I'm paying attention.
Okay, so at 5, Cobb has Goon. At 4, he has the Mighty Ducks. At 3, he has the Mighty Ducks 2 or D2. At 2, he's got Slapshot. At 1, he's got Miracle. All right, that's Cobb's. Alex's list from 5 to 1. You understand? That means I'm counting down from number 5 to number 1.
How does that work?
Okay, so I'll give you the 5th one first.
Mm-hmm.
That's his last rank. I'll move down toward 1, which he thinks is the best.
You mean up towards 1?
Yes. No, down. 1 is below 5, but above it in the rankings. Do you understand?
He's messing with you. He's messing with you.
I know. At number 5, he wrote the Alaska movie where the Rangers play. He meant Mystery Alaska. Number 4, the Mighty Ducks. Number 3, Goon. Number 2, Youngblood. And number 1, Miracle. All right, that's Alex's. Here's it.
You have
I'm looking
AJ?
at AJ. I'm looking at AJ's. I saw what he wrote for number 5, and I've literally never heard of it. All right, so AJ's number 5, Puck Hawks. What is that?
We have to look that one up.
Puck Hogs. Number 4, Mystery Alaska. Number 3, Goon. Number 2, Miracle. Number 1, D2, The Mighty Ducks, as AJ's number 1 hockey movie. Would you like to go before me, Bean, or it's up to you?
Should we debate their choices first, or should we do all of that?
No, we can debate their choices. I'll tell you this.
No. Let's do ours and then debate.
Okay.
I have some that weren't on any of the lists. So.
Okay, go ahead.
Number 5, Goon. Number 4, Do You Believe in Miracles? And the Red Army documentary by HBO.
Oh, that's a fantastic one. Fantastic.
So
that's
the documentary that Miracle is based off of.
Yes, the original story of the, and it's
really good. It's really good.
Do You Believe in Miracles is 1, and Red Army is another doc on the Soviet Union's team, how they were the best in the world. Is that you have to watch both? I counted as 1. Number 3, I have. Is anyone else getting an echo? It's just me.
Yes, just power through it.
Number 3, I have the trilogy of Mighty Ducks D2 and D. That's 1 answer. The trilogy, 1 answer. I don't know if you accept it or care.
I'll accept it. It's fine.
Number 2 is Miracle, starring Kurt Russell, the actual Miracle Disney movie. And number 1, if this should be number 1 on everyone's list, far and away, starring Paul Newman, it's called Slapshot. If you haven't seen it, you have to see it. And if it was not on your list at all, this is garbage.
Okay, they had it on there.
Well, one person,
AJ
and Alex didn't have it either.
Oh, Alex didn't. Cobb had it on there at number 2.
Cobb had it on.
Okay, I will ease your mind. It's on my list. Okay, number 5, I have Mystery Alaska.
Okay.
Number 4, I have D2, The Mighty Ducks. God bless you, Billy. God bless you. Number 3, I have Slapshot. Number 2, I have the original Mighty Ducks. And number 1, I have Miracle. I did give Goon an honorable mention. And again, this is just according to my personal preference. I've seen Slapshot. I love Slapshot, but the Mighty Ducks defined my childhood. And Miracle.
Honorable mention is Mystery Alaska is my honorable. So it's on my 5, 6 there. It was right on the outside looking.
And it has something to do with the fact that they play the Rangers in Mystery Alaska. It's a good movie. That's a Russell Crowe vehicle.
It was the grocery store had to kill a Slapshot. The guy who ran the grocery store.
Yes. Connor. What the hell was his name? Connor something. I wish Billy was still in that chair because he's got to fix this echo issue that we're having.
Killing us. See, he always blames us for bad internet. Maybe it's him when he's having too many Heineken and he's blaming us.
Bill, there is a bit of an echo issue. I don't know if you're hearing it. I can't hear a word you're saying.
He's wearing the wrong headphones right now.
I walked away to get a beer, so I don't know what you're.
Just we're getting a little bit of an echo. It's a live show, so it's understandable. But it's coming and going. It's not happening right now as I'm speaking, but it is happening. Did I read my list?
Yeah,
I read my list. All right. So let's talk about their lists. I'm not upset about their lists. I'm upset that AJ wrote Puck Hogs. I'm going to look that up right now. What the fuck is Puck Hogs?
I've never even.
And I'll shit on his list as well. As you have Puck Hogs, you have no Slapshot. What else he had? He had Mystery Alaska. He had Good. D2. What was the other one? Was it Miracle? No, it might have been Miracle.
Hold on.
Alex, Mystery Alaska. What was
he had Puck Hogs?
Miracles.
Yeah.
He had Youngbloods. Youngbloods is that was my gripe with him also. Also, no Slapshot on his list.
Okay, I've uncovered the reason why AJ loves this movie. I've learned everything I need to know from the poster of the movie.
Yep.
What is it? Like a Van Wilder movie?
Yeah.
It's exactly like it's Van Wilder, but it's hockey. The comedy that scores. Puck Hogs.
Speaking
Rachel
directly to Alex and AJ, not have Slapshot on your list is an abomination.
You know what? Either it's an abomination or they haven't seen the movie. Which is a possibility.
Youngbloods and not Slapshot, more shame to him. He took the time to watch Youngbloods. It's an awful movie, with the exception of the great Patrick Swayze. Awful movie.
Also, isn't Keanu the goalie in that movie?
Who's the goalie?
I think Keanu Reeves is the goalie.
Is he?
I'm pretty sure.
I watched that movie once, and I'll never watch it again. That's how great that movie is.
When you said that there was a clear number 1, I thought you were going Miracle clear number 1. That's my clear number 1.
No, Slapshot's clear number
1. Slapshot is on the list, especially the scene where they're all beaten up and they're singing the national anthem and the ref's screaming at the guy. And he's like, "Listen to the fucking song!" Fantastic.
It's on the level to me of Blazing Saddles. That movie, Slapshot, is like the hockey Blazing Saddles. I can't even say the words on the.
I don't know what's worse tonight, the echo or Beano cutting out every 8 seconds.
I'm gonna say they're related.
Okay. That's the second. Okay.
Well, that's been debunked. You fake news, Billy. Bullshit.
Oh my god. I should have known that Beano was going Slapshot though, because he's got that Chiefs jersey every podcast. Listen, I'm not and look, Goon is a good movie. I don't know if it's top 5 with the other hockey movies out there. I was entertained by Goon. Xavier Laflamme, Doug Glatt, great movie. But the first 2 Mighty Ducks are timeless. The third one I could take or leave. I'll watch it if it's on, but it's not up there with the first 2. Mystery Alaska is great. Russell Crowe,
It's
Hank
okay.
Azaria.
Mystery Alaska is okay. It's okay. It's
I'll watch it if it's on.
The Mighty Ducks is more realistic than Mystery Alaska. Let's be honest.
Stevie Weeks, Cole Meany is in Mystery Alaska. They have an all-star cast.
I want that as a debate. What's more believable, District 5 hockey or Mystery Alaska? And I'll go with District.
Hold on. This is a good debate. I don't think so. Those kids sucked at hockey. I don't care how good the coach is. If you suck, you suck. But I see the NHL trying to do some kind of publicity stunt where they bring a pro team to play pond hockey against another team. Maybe, just maybe. Although it would have been set up in a way where they weren't freezing their balls off and having to like shuttle between the locker room like they did in the movie. And they definitely wouldn't have won because someone hit the post. They would have waxed those pond hockey Eskimo people pretty hard because they're a professional hockey team. So I don't care.
That was only the real part of that movie. What happens when we lose? Like, we're the best, the pond hockey, our thing is the best thing ever. And that was probably the most realistic. That they would have got, like you said, waxed by the Rangers.
Yeah, they would have got waxed.
So
Mike Myers was in that movie as the Canadian color guy.
Yes.
See, that movie's getting better the more I talk about it. It's getting better. He's like, I hate to say it, they're done like dinner.
I come bearing the New York Rangers. Hank Azaria. Hank Azaria's Rangers, the Mystery Alaska.
He's like, he's drinking a bottle of vodka. He stole the Zamboni. He's like drunk driving the Zamboni. Great movie. Russell Crowe.
I do like Russell Crowe, but that one's a little out there.
What was his name in that movie?
The sheriff.
John Beebe. John Beebe.
And he's going to be forced off. They're going to age him out on the pond.
He's out. You're off the Saturday game. Yeah. He's out of the Saturday game. We're bringing up Stevie Weeks.
Fucking Burt Reynolds or something. Must be Burt Reynolds or something.
Burt Reynolds was the freaking coach, the judge.
He was the judge.
Team. And he was really hard on his son. And his son ended up doing one unselfish play in the game against the Rangers, and all of a sudden they were best friends again.
And the left winger was banging the mayor's wife.
Correct. And like a coward, he took her back in the end.
Yeah.
He got cucked by Skank Martin. That was the guy's name in the movie. Skank. Okay, you know what? Mystery Alaska just jumped to number 4 on my list. The more I talk about it,
we can do this with every movie. We can go down the line with all the movies. Great, the lines were. You want me to do the lines from Slapshot? Billy, we might be kicked off every platform we're on if I do the lines from Slapshot.
It is.
No.
Just, you know what? Do yourself a favor and go watch it if you haven't.
Watch Slapshot. Watch.
If you haven't seen Miracle, you might as well move to the former USSR.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm satisfied with that top 5, with everyone's top 5, except for AJ's because he put the puck hogs on his. But when I saw the movie poster, everything made sense. Everything fell into place for that. That's the least surprising thing that's happened on the show tonight. And again, you're listening to the Ranger Things That Happen podcast brought to you by Johnny C's D's. Let's look quickly ahead to tomorrow night's matchup against the Sabres. I will say that last weekend I made a hot take that Kravtsov would play over the weekend. It didn't happen. It still hasn't happened. That's not going to be my hot take against the Sabres this weekend. My hot take for tomorrow is that Igor Shesterkin, confirmed starter.
No.
We'll get it. Yes, he is. He's
Already?
in there tomorrow night. Igor is in. He will get his first career shutout tomorrow night. Hot take. Jump on in, Bean.
I was going to go the exact opposite, that we were not going to see Shesterkin playing after I thought he was done so again last night.
They said, he looks hurt, and then he got railroaded.
He like cringed, and he was like, oh my god, I said it, I don't know. Like, I'm done with him. If he's hurt, I'm done with him. I don't want him anymore. 2 phantom, no save injuries. All right, so I'm not going to say Georgiev is in. I just crossed that out. I have a hot take.
Cross it out.
Hot take against the Sabres. What'd you say? Shutout by Shesterkin?
That's my hot take.
Okay, all right, I'll do this. 2 goals by Capo Caco. How you like that?
I love it.
Line. 2 goals by Capo Caco.
I love it. So again,
it's going to be a rout tomorrow.
I hope so, because again, every game they play against the Sabres has been a 1-goal game, I think, except for one where they won by 2. But you can't have a letdown game against this team. It can't happen. If you want to be a contender, if you want to contend for the playoffs, you can't lose to the Buffalo Sabres. Sorry, you just can't.
Because I'm a crazy person. I watched the Sabres. I think they were up 2-0 Flyers after. I was shitting on AV like everyone else. And I went
to bed, and the Flyers came back.
And they won. And then the next night, I'm like, and then they just drubbed them 6-1 or 6-2.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm like, great, we're playing the Rangers now. They scored 6 goals against the Flyers, and that's why I was a little. But I really hope that they're back to earth now. The Sabres, after 18-game losing streak, beat the Flyers, and they go back on a
Yes, another 18, starting with the Rangers.
game losing streak. Be fantastic.
Hopefully tomorrow with Capo Caco 2 goals, with Igor Shesterkin's first career shutout coming tomorrow. Hot take. That's what we got going on. It's a beautiful Easter weekend or a Good Friday right now, and tomorrow's Holy Saturday. So Igor Shesterkin gets his first career shutout on a Holy Saturday against the Buffalo Sabres. That's the hot take. Can't lose to the Sabres. No letdown. Keep your foot on the gas. Play the kids, because I believe the children are our future. So play the kids.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Play to win. Make a run at the playoffs, and then we'll play.
Play to win with the children, with the kids. Play the kids. Hold on. I'm getting word. Our friend Gordon Ramsay is here with a question.
Any last words, you f***ing donkeys?
Actually, I do have a couple last words. Wore bright blue tonight for World Autism Day today, as far as awareness. So to anyone out there whose family is affected by this condition, I know it's not easy, and good luck. And of course, everyone in my family was wearing blue today to bring awareness, World Autism Day. My last word, Beano.
It's
not working again. We're not hearing it.
Stop muting me, Billy.
Can hear bits and pieces of it.
You know, if you like
Back in the
messaged me
highlight.
and said, "Can you play that?" I could have played it.
You could have played it, but where were you? Where were you, Billy?
Where were you? You didn't tell me that you wanted to play it.
Keep you on your toes. Back in the highlight.
Where was he? He was back in the high life. Billy, any last words?
Thank you for having me. This was great. I can't wait until next week.
Next week you'll be back behind the curtain.
Thank God.
Not where you belong, but like where you belong, just on a Rangers podcast.
Right.
We talked a little baseball tonight. That was okay. When Beano went to check his internet, when his internet went out.
It happens to the.
I'm about to check my internet very quickly after we sign off from this podcast.
Me too.
I would like to thank Rachel Nones for joining us tonight from Western Pennsylvania, where the best pizza around is a Pizza Hut. Nobody out pizzas the Hut.
Where don't say the slogan. They didn't sponsor us.
We'll take their money. We'll take their money.
Let me rephrase. Any other pizza place pretty much out pizzas the Hut, especially around our parts. But thank you to Rachel. And if you don't follow the Hockey Writers or E2G Hockey on Twitter, get on there and give them a follow so you can read Rachel's stuff amongst hundreds of other writers that are each and every team in the NHL. It's good stuff. So thank you to Rachel again for joining us tonight. Thank you to Billy for the work behind the scenes and for doing it on Wi-Fi tonight. That's probably why we have so many goddamn echo issues, but we did it anyway. We got it done. Thank you to Beano. Thank you to AJ and Alex and Cobb for being horrific disappointments. If you haven't ever seen it, go watch Puck Hogs. Fox is a Norris Trophy candidate.
No.
Don't try and change his mind.
Not even
What?
close. Fox equals change my mind. Night, Brian Boyle.
Night, night.
night,
everybody. This has been the Ranger Things of Having podcast brought to you by Johnny C's Tees. Follow Johnny C's Tees on Instagram too while you're at it. And we will see you next week to talk about all the Ranger things that have happened. Hopefully we're talking about Igor's first shutout and how Lafreniere played 20 minutes in the next 2 games.
No, 2 Kako goals.
And 2 Kako goals.